Hello. What happened with the opening here? I don't know. Maybe we've
I don't
made a failed here. Uh,
I was waiting for this.
oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
music. Dun,
With
dun,
the
dun,
music,
dun,
right?
Somebody changed it.
Yeah, some AI changed it.
Maybe.
Hey, so welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Out of the Box Developer. We are starting another session, and yes, today we bring here one. It was quite a while ago already, maybe some weeks ago. But a quote that had been how can I say, moving all the lot of discussions around the internet was bring from the no one else but Nvidia CEO Jensen. So Jensen Huang. So we just started with our group internally here about a lot of discussion regarding it because a lot of developers are worried, right? Right? Will AI replace developers at all, or no? Or it is only a hype here now? How should we be? How much we should be worried about? How much it will actually change? And yeah, and not just you. Of course, we ourselves also discussing a lot regarding to this topic. So let me just say hello. Today we have a lot of people here to be adding on this discussion. So hello. Oh, how should I start? Hello, Pedro. How are you, man?
Hey, hello, Hugo. Yeah, I'm good. Today is a very interesting topic. We had lots of discussion about it. To say, I think it was not only us. I think the whole internet is discussing about that this week. So yeah, because it is very important. This is something that we really need to think about and really need to understand how we're gonna be. How we need to in I lost the word, but how will be our uh, feeling about it? How we're gonna handle that, for our futures. So I think this is very important to us to think about as software developers. We are all concerned about it.
Yes, yes, that's true. I believe that one thing that is sure, something will change, right?
So for definitely. Hey
So,
George, hello man.
oh, hello, Georgie. Good to see you here. Hey, Chila, how are you?
Oh, hello, Hugo. I am fine, and you? Happy to be with you today here. So I am also thinking that it's a very interesting topic, and we can highlight this topic from many directions and discuss a lot of questions. So I'm looking forward to it.
Great, great. Thanks. I'm doing great too. So, hey, Igor, how are you, man? I'll be picking one
Hey,
on one here.
awesome. Hi, Hugo. Hi, guys. How you doing? Very polemic, hot topic here. Lots of people are concerned, even myself a little bit. But let's discuss about that with an open mind. And the only thing that never changes is that everything is always changing all the time. So let's understand and discuss about how we can adapt to these changes and make ourselves values in the market and continue existing along with AI. That's what I believe. We will need
Cool,
to understand more about that.
cool stuff. And hello, Douglas. How are you, man?
Hey, doing pretty good. We got an interesting conversation coming up today. I think a lot of different
Yeah.
opinions in the room, and yeah, there's some preparation. I believe that there's some preparation that we're gonna have to start doing. Dig that well now before it becomes evident that the one that we were using is dried up. So, uh, yeah, I think it'll be an interesting conversation.
Cool, great. Thanks for joining us here. And hello, Thiago. How are you, man?
Hello, I'm great. Yeah, I'm glad to be here talking about this polemic subject, this hot topic. And I'd also want to ask everyone that's here if you're already using AI or not, because this is very important to know if you're already using or not AI. I hope yes, but
Yeah.
let's see.
Yes, so if you are watching us, and yeah, please here on the chat
Mm.
if you are already using any AI tool, right? Yeah, Thiago, any
Yes.
AI tool in our routine, in your job, during your day to day. I think it's interesting to understand also what kind of tools you are using. And I just remember now, George Tavares. Hey, Georgie, I just see that you share with us a really cool video with Adam Bean and Langchain4j. So thanks a lot. It's great to have things content to be shared there. Thanks, man. Um,
Oh yeah, actually I listened to this podcast yesterday, and I find it's very insightful. They talk about lots of interesting things and why they did that, right? So it was really cool to see the idea of getting Java, putting Java not behind Python in this in
mhm.
this matter. So yeah, and now the guy is working like full time on the project. So yeah, it's it's taking off. Yeah.
That's cool, man. I have to watch it. I was in not bad, but I was in a travel and just got back today. So I was in swimming in the pool and relaxing a bit. So nothing to be complaining
Important
about.
stuff. Very
I
important
haven't been
stuff.
thinking about
The,
AI for a
the
while.
mo- most important.
Yeah, also
Yeah.
important.
Absolutely.
I think before we get started here, let's bring the raw quote here from Jensen that moved a lot of discussion in the internet. Let's see if I can place it somewhere here. Let me copy and place on the comment so we can also share on our video, right? Hey Victor, how are you, man? Good to see you here. So if you just joined it, we just dropped a question here. If you are already using some AI tool in your day to day, please share with us so we can also share experiences here and discuss about it. Uh, but the quote that I sent here, I don't know what, I think it's processing yet. So, but let me bring the quote here. So Jensen Huang was during a conference. He just dropped a comment here that made a lot of wow, with a lot of people. And he said here that it is our job to create computing technology so that nobody has to program, and that the programming language is human. Everybody in the world is now a programmer. This is the miracle of artificial intelligence. And I think one comment that he added after that is regarding to uh, that kids don't need to start learning programming, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong,
Right.
yeah, that was that. Yes, too. So yeah, let me hear who wants to start with some some opinion here. What do you think? Will be this will be it is really something. I know that maybe right now it's difficult to say that, but maybe in a close future, start to become something more and more realistic. Um, thing.
So right now, uh, things look like they're pretty much about the same. We have some AI. It can do some things. We can have it do very little pieces, and that's actually what I've discovered. So I've been using ChatGPT since what was it? November of 2022 when it dropped, and I saw I saw a tweet that said, "You will remember where you were when when this dropped," and it's true because I was where I usually am, which is at my desk, and I saw it on Twitter, and I do remember reading that tweet and going, "What is ChatGPT?" And so I searched for it and got access, and then I got the subscription as soon as I could, and I've got a team account now because I want my my kids to be able to use it and my wife to be able to use it and me, um and so we're it's one of those things where I kind of got on board with it because I saw it and I said, it may not do everything right now. It may not be able to break down and reason through a complicated task right now. But what it can do is I know the Lego bricks, the little Lego blocks that I need, the building blocks that I need to make things, right? And it can help me make those building blocks and I can put things together quickly because of that. Now, um, I think that very soon, as you've seen, and I don't hope I'm not stealing any thunder, but there's topics like we're going to go over with Devin out there where that comes into play, and there's a process. Things are happening where they're trying to make it to where they don't need a software engineer to do things. And of course, you have your YouTube influencers out there telling developers you don't need to worry about things.
Mm.
They're always going to need us. And quite frankly, my perspective on this is that that is dangerous. And you should not listen to people that are saying that because if you learn to use AI, the only thing that happens if it doesn't come to pass where they replace us is that you become a really powerful software engineer. So there's actually a lot of really good to preparing for the fact that you might not be needed and you need to learn a new skill because you're still going to be able to use it for something. So don't ignore
Mm.
this. Don't ignore the change in tide that we're starting to see right now. I could go on forever, but that's kind of my first volley out there, my opinion on this. Let's let it go around the room.
And I think you already added one very important news that is quite recent, right? It was during last week. They called
Yes.
Devin, shared about Devin, create a video showcasing it, and still really interesting. We never seen. Actually I never seen any tool that connected so many development tools and started to create
Yeah.
more advanced AI software engineer. And of course, the project itself already says that they still have a long path to walk through because it's 13% of the acceptance that they have. ChatGPT itself, GPT itself, it is something around 1%, and they already have this advancement. But yeah,
Well, well, there's some unfairness. They were doing an apples to oranges comparison there. So
mm,
basically, they had access to the tool. So it was like using an agent. They're comparing an agent with an
oh,
infinite loop and some tools compared
yes,
to zero shot on
mhm,
just hit the button once and see if you get a solution back. So to be fair, let's get to that. But I think that there's some minutia in that one we should discuss when we get there.
can someone say a bit about Devin, explain about Devin, so we can actually also help our audience to get into who never heard about Devin? I shared here the Cognition Labs
Yeah.
that developed Devin.
Well, Devin sits on top of ChatGPT, actually. They're using OpenAI's API underneath the covers. But what they've done is you get this really cool interface, right? You've seen, like, if you go watch the video on it, you'll see where you've got the terminal, and you've got like a web browser, and then you got a code editor, and there's one other window that you've got. They got a really neat looking UI going on with this. But the thing is that, and they got the integration where right now, when there are AI coding agents right now, I've never found one that's completed a task for me that I wanted it to complete. But it doesn't mean I still haven't stopped trying. So you've got it basically is Chat GPT under the covers. but they've got a good, nice little wrapping, and it's an agent. And an agent just means something that a process that has tools that it can keep iterating. It can keep like submitting prompts and getting responses
Mm.
and processing that. And so there's a while true going on somewhere underneath the covers at that. But yeah, that's pretty much what Devon is, and I think that they get that higher percentage because of the tools. They do have something. They didn't just get $22 million of investment for no reason at all, right? So there is something about them, but in the end, they still have the same problems that every other AI coding agent is going to have. Now, I don't have access to Devon. I have requested access to Devon, but probably so has half the developer community wanting to know what the heck is going on, want access to Devon. And I don't hear anyone getting access to Devon, so it may have just been a dog and pony show going on. I haven't seen any of my favorite YouTubers going, "Hey, let me show you what Devon can do." I haven't seen that yet. So
Hmm.
shall see about Devon.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
find a
Okay.
name. Yeah,
Can
go
I
ahead. Mhm.
can I read the Devin
Yeah, sure.
Twitter here? The Twitter they send is saying Devin is an autonomous agent that solves
Mm.
engineering tasks through the use of its own shell, code editor, and web browser. Right.
Mm.
So it's what they said, and they said that when evaluated in the benchmark SWE bench, Devin correctly solves 13% of the issues unassisted, right? That's the difference here, I think. Far exceeding the previous state-of-the-art model performance of 1.96 unassisted and 4.80 assisted. So I think these words
I,
assisted are
I,
interesting
I
here.
I still question it because I think that what they're saying is that they tried zero shot on and zero shot. Let's explain zero shot. That just means that they hit the button once to set off the prompt request to ChatGPT. They didn't have it sitting in a loop. They're not measuring against other agents that already exist. They're measuring directly against a zero shot. They're taking their agent and saying, "Yeah, our agent does great because zero shot doesn't actually work that well," and that's what they showed in the graph down there, the
Mm.
1.96. They're not actually using. They're not comparing something else that's using ChatGPT in an agent form. And there are other open source coding agents out there. They're not the only people. They just happen to get $22 million in from a very popular fund, like from Peter Thiel's fund, which is that's a very popular fund. So they were broadcast all over the place by these really famous people. So that's kind of why.
Yeah, it looks like that Devin it goes into the loop of looking for documentation by itself in his first click on the zero shot. That's why I believe they are just comparing the zero shot because they are an agent, right? If they got
They're
an
an agent.
error, and then it starts searching for documentation, and then it triggers again to test that again, implement that again. So that's a infinite loop until he got something that you have prompts there. That's what I have seen from Devin so far.
Right, and that's not
Yes.
what they do with all
Mhm.
the other ones. That's the problem, is that with the other ones, they basically just hit the enter key and go, "Oh, you didn't get the answer, so you fail." That
Yeah.
was yeah, yeah.
I'm
So
just sharing my screen here just to give an idea about what we are talking about. I don't know. Can you see the video is too small?
I can see Twitter on like
pretty
not
small.
the
You
video.
need to hit Command plus, or if you're on a Mac or Control plus to get the font a little bit bigger,
I think I could. I made the video focus here.
or do that too. It's still tiny.
Okay, but yeah, give an idea. It's a they have the shed, they have a browser, they have a terminal, and the um, coding place here, editor, text editor. So yeah, you can see all the activities and changes and commits. It's like giving, as Douglas said, it's an agent for some large language model running behind, but doing great work here. Actually, I haven't expect that it will get a lot done, but they are doing some interesting thing here. And this is the comparison, right?
Yeah, I want to see Devin playing around with a code with no documentation and no pattern. So we will see
That's
how
right.
good he will go.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
It would be much more complicated.
More
Yeah,
entertaining.
Okay.
actually,
Yeah.
some time ago, a friend of mine has created a agent they call Jarvis, and this agent was
Yeah,
pretty
I
much
remember
like
that.
that. It starts reasoning what it needs to do, and then it shows that, hey, oh, I need to access the internet to find out something, or I need to take a look on some of the other files here in your code base to see what I can find, and then but it was a command line stuff. So we start getting some asking the command line, and then it started thinking what we need to do. And of course, we always need to approve or not approve what he is trying to do,
Mhm.
because security. But when you give this power, like this actions, in OpenAI you have this actions stuff, and when we give it this kind of power to the agent, it's, well, we have like lots of infinity loop, like trying to get and wondering and thinking and getting more info and send the info to the LLM, you know and this loop takes a while, right? Another stuff that we realized when we are discussing that at that time, of course, it's not a deving, but it's something
Mhm.
simpler, right? And we realized that it takes a lot of time and a lot of calls to do this stuff,
Yep.
right?
It does.
And it takes like, and of course you were using GPT-4, and well, GPT-4
Hmm.
costs a lot. So yeah, it was possible to do some stuff. We have done some like interactions and get some new features done in the code base we were trying, right? So yeah, I at that time I couldn't see that working like in a big software or in a big application doing some stuff. Of course, when we saw like small stuff, small new features, you know. But I think Douglas said, like in our private session, that uh, the LLMs are getting bigger in the context. So
Yes.
eventually, we're gonna get like, I can put all my code base there in the
Mhm.
Yep.
context, and then he could like see all the code they have, like, oh, I need to add a method there, I need to add something over there, like in your code, not like thinking and imagining, hallucinating that you have some kind of
Hmm.
method that GitHub Copilot does. GitHub Copilot, when we try to do something, he start guessing that, oh, is this a method to do this thing, and so I'm gonna throw this here, and of course it don't work. But yeah, so when we see these things, we see that it's getting better, right?
Well,
It's getting
and
better.
George,
Yeah.
look at the comment that George put down at the bottom, which basically, that only show the successful cases, right? That's a really easy thing. So let's just go out and talk about the fact that Devin actually took in work on what was it? Work on Fiverr. Like took some really small projects on Fiverr and was able to do it unassisted. So technically, Devin made some money. Well, Devin got some revenue coming in. Now, I don't know if Devin made any money or not, because to train Devin probably costs a lot of GPU time, excuse me, GPU time. So yeah, of course, when we blow the trumpets, right? We blow the trumpets and we roll Devin out to the world. We're going to only show the success. But I would still say that look, I put together a really detailed request and even put a prompt in there for Devin, like they asked me to on the sign up form, like what I was thinking about trying to do. And I've not heard a thing back because I think that it's going to be a hard road. They're only going to let a few people in at a time because people are going to like really do some obnoxious things or try to get Devin to do some obnoxious things. And they're going to have to handle it. It's not ready. That was alpha code basically. They're just like, look at what we could do because they got the $22 million from the Founders Fund, which is a very famous, venture capitalist fund, and they're trying to utilize all the press they can get to make people think. So again, I would say you need to understand. You've got to understand this. Like you don't have to understand anything, but what we're trying to explain is that people are trying to make this work. So you have a lot of really smart people working all the time trying to figure out if they can get an AI software developer up and running. So do we ignore it and say, ha, look, they're failing? No, we don't ignore it. We prepare for it. Again,
Yeah, great point, Douglas. Yeah, I was thinking exactly about that. I know that it was Devin looks like an enemy for the developers because it will be doing our work, but uh, regardless of it is actually going to take our job or not, the thing is, it is proven that it is possible to achieve these things with LLM. Maybe another next thing will be even better than what we have. So I really do believe that, okay, in the reality that it works and it is less resource consuming, less time consuming. What will be left for developers or for us to be doing? Um, I think still a lot of things, right? So I was thinking about, uh, now it looks like some guy that just joined the development world and trying to figure out how to solve something by opening the Stack Overflow, copy pasting things, and just making it work somehow, and don't even know that he shouldn't be putting API keys in the code and pushing it.
right.
So we already developers already do abstract part of the job with someone else, and we always have to review it and create this trust that he will be doing right things, or if he don't do the right thing, we have to review and guarantee that it is right, doing in a right way. um, I believe that won't be very different with AI, except that it will scale a lot, and I don't know how some experienced developer can actually review something that AI did in large scale. I believe that I already get a lot of pull requests that you have to review, and that had lots of line of code to review, and it's just
Well,
complex to do that. I don't know. AI doing that, pushing a single commit with the whole project here. Wow.
I would just go
Paperwork.
back to it and say, I need you to create smaller commits, and I want to review while the commits are being done. I would just tell
Mm,
the AI, you're not going to give me a 4,000 line MR merge
yeah.
request, PR pull request, and expect me to go over it. We're going to do this Y way, just like I
Yeah,
would with
that's where.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
here do that. I'm not doing a 4,000 line pull request. You're gonna send this in to me with smaller chunks of work to look at because first of all, when it's at that 4,000 line stage, it's done. Like there's really not a good way to go back and say you can't do this, this, and this, and this. They've already taken all the time up to get to the point of giving you that 4,000 lines of code. So we'd have to create some rules with our friendly with our friendly Devin, that we're going to get pull requests on, on a certain interval of lines of code, and then we can take and make judgments on it, and help it make better decisions in the future.
Yeah,
Before
that's
I
where the prompt
Go ahead.
engineering comes on, right?
Yeah.
Knowing how to deal with the artificial intelligence with Devin or with ChatGPT to ask the correct questions, and how do you expect these output? Because if you're having every pull request with 400 lines for review, good luck. That will be painful.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, eventually we'll have AIs that can actually do the the code
Yeah,
reviews.
Yeah.
as
I think
well.
that's actually coming. Is that there'll be chunks of work done, and there'll be another AI that's that one of the techniques they used is called mixture of experts. I mean, that's actually what Chat GPT sits on top of, is a mixture of experts. It's not one AI. It's like seven or eight different models that are LLMs that
Working
basically
together. Yeah.
decisions as to which one will answer the question better than the other, or a mixture of them to get the answer of the question. And so I think that what you'll start to see is that we'll even have that abstraction go even further up, and we'll have a mixture of LLMs that some do graphics, some do coding, some do MRs, some do they'll do
Mhm.
all of these little things. Like I
Some do
said,
the reviews.
the power comes from us if we can figure out how to drive them. That's where it comes
Mm.
in. Because I still think that there will be the need for the programmer brain in the future. But I think the need is going to be where one software engineer, one senior or staff engineer, is going to be able to drive an entire organization of AIs.
Mm.
Bad thing about that, and this is the thing, I do not have the exact chart in front of me, but I actually have someone that works for, I know someone who works for a coding boot camp that basically looks at the number of entry level positions that are open and how they dip, and he has some way of getting this number of entry level positions. And what he noticed was that basically you always dip before before the holidays. You dip before the end of the year. Well, he said in a meeting that we had, I think it was last week, that dip actually was lower now than it was even back then. That the entry level market has dipped even lower
Mhm.
than before the holidays. Now, we can't tell the future. Does that mean that there'll never be entry level positions? No. But there are forces at hand right now, in at least in the United States, and that's the only thing I can talk to because that's where I'm from, that has made it to where software engineers are even a different class of employee as far as the IRS is concerned. So another topic, if you want to put it up on the docket today, is Section 174 of the IRS code, which has to do with research and development. And they made a modification to it, I believe, back in 2022. So 2023 was the year that it went into effect, and now people are paying tax bills that they've never had to pay. And now there's less money for software engineers.
Mhm.
So it's really hurting quite a bit here in the United States at this point. And so, without going into detail on all of that, basically what they did is they made it to where the salaries for a software engineer are the same as if you bought a computer. You have to amortize the salary over 5 years instead of taking it all off in 1 year, of when you paid them. And so, do I buy computers now? Do I buy big old GPUs, or do I buy people? That's the question that a lot of companies are having to ask right now, because
Mhm.
they've made it to where, right when ChatGPT came out, the laws went into effect that made it to where paying software engineers, you had to follow the same rules as if you bought computers and GPUs with them. And that's killing us. That's killing an industry right now. And the House passed a bill to try to fix it retroactively, but the Senate is not worried about it right now. They got bigger problems. So it's just floating out there for now. So that's why we got to learn, got to use the AI
Yeah.
stuff and figure
It,
out how it works.
Actually, I was thinking about that like some time ago, and not sometime this week. It's because well, we know that what happens when the industry got more taxes in some place, they
Hmm.
move to another place, right?
Yeah.
So it's when we see if we start seeing these kind of things, what the big companies will gonna do? They will change their development force to another company,
Right.
another country, right?
They will
So
try, but there's also efforts in
yeah,
the United
probably.
States to penalize companies that would try to evade taxes by moving their companies elsewhere. There are efforts to fix that
Yeah,
loophole too, if they aren't already there. Like some things I miss, but
yeah.
there are
But
people working on that problem
for
as
sure.
always.
Yeah. But as always, the big money will flows globally, right? So that
They
what
will
I say.
try.
Yeah, my biggest concern are the smaller money, right? Where is where most of the
The
people are,
startups, the startups,
right?
right? The
It's
little startups
startups, mid
that right.
companies, right? In US has one of the most big economies in the world, and in this matter. So how are we gonna do for this? How are we gonna be to these companies, right? Because, for example, if we compare here in Brazil, the developers are much much less expensive than in US, right?
it,
Uh,
it,
and if in terms of avoiding taxes, people are very good on that and using this contractor stuff, right? But even though we see the our market, and our market is really really small, you know. So when we think about it, we think about getting less entry level jobs. Even without artificial intelligence, we already seen that, right?
We are. We
We
are.
are.
Yep.
So the problem with entry level jobs is already in place. What I see with this kind of artificial intelligence is that now we have another competitor, right? For another competitor for the jobs, and of course, as we are saying that this competitor takes a lot of GPU power to work, so people from the management will start like comparing money. Oh, how much
Cost.
costs to
Yes.
get
Yeah.
to get a software developer? How much costs to get a full time dev and developer?
No, no, a 24/7 never sleeps, never gets sick, doesn't need vacation time, doesn't need benefits, doesn't have children, does not marry. Yeah, yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
but
not
it's
human.
possible to compare.
yeah,
But
yeah. However,
even with all these things, we can compare, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
if we're talking about 24/7, you can have industries have already 24/7 things. People
yeah,
working in different time zones. People work in
Don't need
different
them working. You have one working all the time, not two people working all the time, but you have one working all the time. So you can get a 2 for 1 then at that point, right? If we're gonna use that kind of number, then basically I could take the money for one software engineer, bring up a 24-hour, 24/7 programming AI, and only pay for one and not
yeah,
pay
but
for two.
but you are considering that you are only pay for one. What if
Yeah.
that is not is not
Yeah.
that
Oh,
cheap
well,
as
then,
you're
yeah, that's
thinking?
right. What if it's not as good as one? Then we have to pay for 2 or 3 of them, right? But it never goes to sleep. It never gets sick. Their tax laws aren't going to change on it. I'm not going to have to pay them. I'm not going to have to pay taxes on the revenue that I get for them differently. They're it's just so odd how this all worked out. I don't like taking anything in a political way. So I'm not even saying who did what, right? I'm just saying a thing has happened in the United States that has caused a very interesting situation, and it happened right as ChatGPT was released.
uh,
It went into effect. November of 2022 was when ChatGPT came out, and the new law went into effect January 1st of 2023. It just right next to each other, right next to each other.
Just one point related with that. I think maybe here everyone agree that we are not close, not in the near future, or maybe not on the long future, to have an AI that will be able to do everything alone.
Right.
We need someone to review or to guarantee that the AI is creating things that uh, can go to production.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
this everyone here agree with that. So
I
maybe right, Douglas. Okay,
Yes,
just
I'm agreeing.
checking.
Right.
I
Giving
put
more.
my hand up.
Yeah.
I
Okay, here on the chat, if you disagree, please put on the chat. But I think everyone agrees that we cannot believe 100% on the AIs.
Yeah.
So I bring here. So for the entry levels that can have this kind of new AIs and try it out, maybe they can learn the patterns that the AIs are not able to solve and maybe become more prepared to become like a senior engineer or whatever the position, that it's the person that knows the mistakes of the AI and know how to solve that. What do you think about it?
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. That's something related to what I was saying about these prompt engineers that they are telling how to communicate better with AI to get what you need from that. But even myself using AI to develop features for software, I've found sometimes that AI was not capable of delivering me what I wanted. He delivered sometimes a very much more complex solution. I, maybe I needed to improve what I was asking to it, but I tried that many times and this was delivering me an airplane when I just wanted a bike. So sometimes, okay, I let me do this by myself, and that worked much better. So I don't see that so far right now as a replacement. Maybe in the future, let's see
It,
how things moves.
yes, my point actually it's the autonomous AI. So you have, for
Mm,
example, one bot that do some kind of things. For example, see the issues and do the fix and create the PR. So
mm,
someone you need to check it out and check if it's everything right. And I think probably there will be some patterns, mistakes. Like for example, if you want to generate an image, probably you know that if you have text,
mm.
this will not work. And
Yeah.
I think the same will happen with software. So, for example, I don't know, the requirements when I ask for requirements related with X, I don't know, security or whatever, scalability, whatever, I know that he can maybe not give the best answer, or I don't know, resource consumption. Maybe he doesn't care about resource. Maybe the bot is from Amazon, and Amazon want you to. I think you got the point.
Use everything. Be your card.
Yes,
Love it.
yes.
I love
Use the most
I
expensive
love this. Be
things.
careful who made your bot. It might be trying to get you
Yeah,
to use extra AWS resources.
this can
Excuse
happen.
me.
Uh, well, just before continuing the discussion, I just want to say hello. I see some people entered joined here. I haven't noticed it here. So Manuel Clemente, hello Manuel, good to see you here. And also Igor from Dublin. He's watching us from Dublin. Hello Igor. Good. Thanks for watching us. And yeah,
Yeah.
we are watching here on the chat. Place here the question that Thiago just asked, if you believe that we're gonna have autonomous AI that can replace us totally. Is that the question, Thiago?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. If you think that AI can replace us
Can
totally,
replace us, or are you worried with Devin that we just showed here, and also uh, yeah, to come this day? um,
Let me make a comment here.
yeah,
We
go
are
ahead.
talking about Devin because Devin like showed himself to the world. Devin just got like 21 millions in
Right.
venture capital. But I just sent you a link here in Twitter
Mhm.
that shows like many other AI that pretends to replace that jobs, and then another AI that says they will replace a software engineer that's called Magic that just rated $145 million,
Yeah, I saw
like
that.
They're trying.
I saw that.
A lot of
five
smart people
times,
are trying to figure
like
this out.
seven times the Devin one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I
There's a
wonder
lot of
what
money.
they have there.
Uh,
Yeah. There's
it,
you
yeah,
can pay a
I,
lot of
I
software
have.
engineers.
Yes, I have one point here. I'm like against this kind of thing related with AI that can replace us totally or things like that. Because I have another point, that it's security. So we are talking a lot about AI that will replace software development. And how about the hackers? We will have probably in the future AI versus AI,
yes, you
something
will.
like that.
Probably, probably.
You will.
Yeah,
Yeah,
chaos.
You will.
And
yeah, Skynet, probably.
Yeah. Oh,
but
if you're not talking about war here, okay?
But
Yeah,
but if they program the AIs properly, they will not kill us. That's all I can say.
No, yeah, yeah. I'm not talking about
I
that.
hope.
It's just like you
You
have
said
some
not yet,
AI
so I
creating
had to say that.
software, another AI that will try to hack it to extract
hmm
information. So yeah, what will happen? You need
uh,
that to have someone here, at least on the good place, in the company place, that will try to guarantee that you do not have security vulnerabilities, but you have some kind of very good AI trying to hack. I think it's
yeah,
much worse than an AI that's trying to programmer. Because the AI that tries to programmer, if the AI fails, okay, what happened is you have a bug. But if the AI that's trying to hack to get some private information fail, what happened? It's nothing. But if this AI succeeds, it's chaos.
Yeah, if
yeah.
it's
Probably we
successful, I
need.
love it. Yeah, you're right.
but I
But
think
let me say
yeah.
something.
Go
Let me
ahead.
to
Hmm.
this one is that they already have AIs that are doing security. There's already
Yeah,
AIs doing it. So for my
that
at
was
my
I going to
bank,
comment.
right. And so I may not even have to say too much about it. But the thing is that there are already AI models that are built around what does Douglas actually do usually with his money? They know. Like there's something that knows. And when something weird happens, my card gets locked and I get a message. And it's gotten much better over the past 5 years. I haven't had to have a card replacement. I actually have had them do false positives. Like they'll lock it down and go, "Was that you?" And it's like, "Yeah, that was me." But they've actually had much fewer. Um, I actually have had two. I've had two debit cards that have gone to the completion point. They've expired, which was unheard of 10 years ago. 10 years ago, at least once a year or every other year, my card was getting snatched. My card number was getting snatched. So someone has done something out there. And then also the AI model that monitors is Douglas spending money the way Douglas usually spends money works really well too, because it always catches it when I do something really different and odd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
great.
So I
yeah,
was
we're already using them.
I was
But
skeptical here if actually AI doesn't do a better job to identify the patterns and then fill those security issues than some human that have to be reading the code and see those assist if there is some vulnerability available there. Yeah, and I believe that my point here, I just want to draw up here that probably lots of things AI will do better than humans in many jobs, especially
reading
scaling those
logs.
things.
They
Yeah,
will do a really good job at reading logs. You want
reading
an
those.
AI
Yes,
your logs
exactly.
basically telling you when they think something is about to go down. That's really where I see a lot coming in, and maybe even able to write the ticket for your ticketing system, and then to create the request to replace the part that it knows based on the pattern that it's seen in the past. Um, I've actually had people ask me about doing that kind of work in the past. I know that that's on people's minds. It's like being able to monitor for, a smart error and go ahead and order the replacement and know all the applications that are going to go down on that VM, on that VM host. If you take it down to replace the drive, or if you don't replace the drive, it already knows all of that. It has it all in its context at that point.
Yes, and my point here is that I think people are really oh going against AI or fearing AI, but I for me one thing that I fear more is maybe naive leaders that maybe can choose things that like approving something made naively approving something that made by AI, or believing that every
Yeah.
software developer can be replaced and just go in production with whatever AI comes down when it's not ready yet. I believe that at some point in the future, maybe AI will be so well trained that it can actually create an application with some form and some say in a safe way that we don't need to worry anymore. I believe that there's lots of reuses in our job that can be replaced by AI, but there we have to be there. We have to reach there, and we haven't yet. But someone naively can actually just just jump some steps and just replace things by AI, and then we're gonna have some chaos. I believe.
They're already trying, because the people will just non-programmers will go into Chat GPT and ask for stuff, and they won't know what
Yeah.
they're getting. They copy
Uh,
and paste it and see, because they even have Chat GPT, tell me how to use this. And so it tells them exactly, step, take this code, paste it in here, run this
mhm.
thing. And,
Mm-hmm.
they try as hard as they can to keep Chat GPT aligned. That's that censorship, right? And the alignment is to keep it from telling people things that could happen to do harm. So it's a Chat GPT is very censored, but there's a ton of uncensored models out there. There's people that fine tune open source models to be uncensored. And so there is a chance that someone can get onto the wrong one and say something that they would say, oh yeah, I know how to help you build your application. Take this code that deletes the world and paste it in here and just hit the run button, and then cool, you're good, we promise.
Yeah,
you know oh, you did it, oh, we're gone. Everything's
exactly.
gone.
Yes.
That, that's a
Go ahead.
warning
Go ahead,
point.
Igor.
That's a warning point. That's why they should be extra careful when connecting uh, military arsenal to the AI. That's it. We were discussing about that.
Vehicles, yeah, that's really a scary thought. You give the AI guns that can actually pull the trigger without a human saying pull the trigger.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're giving robots to AI now. You have these. We're starting with one that can help you with common stuff, but you just give a gun to the robot and we will be in trouble.
Better hope that alignment code is written well so it doesn't get hacked. Again, they can hack right now. They're throwing ASCII art in the Chat GPT to get it to break its alignment. That goes back in the day. I don't know how many people here played with ASCII art, but you throw some ASCII art with the question in it, and it's actually breaking the alignment in Chat GPT. It's answering questions it shouldn't, but because they threw ASCII art in there instead of actually writing
That's
it out.
cute. Yeah, I
Oh
saw
my!
that.
Yeah.
They
So
say, "Oh, can you give me the recipe for bomb in ASCII
yeah,
art?"
just put
Yes.
yeah, ASCII art. They
Uh,
just gotta start spitting it out because it breaks the alignment code. But yeah, there's so many. All I think all we're trying to say to everyone out there who's watching this is that there things are changing. They're changing. They're going to change rapidly. Right now, we see where things are, but we know how technology works. I think that Nvidia, the head guy of Nvidia, was just up talking live about doubling performance of GPUs every 6 months. So you can throw more GPUs, more GPUs, more GPUs, and more trillion parameter models, and soon the universe will be at the disposal of an AI. The entire universe will be stored in the AI, and it will, it again, we just need to be prepared. We don't have to panic. You don't have to panic when you're prepared. When you're prepared, you don't have to be scared. Oh no. Did that rhyme? Not this time. Anyway,
Any tips?
that's all I'm saying.
It
That's all.
rhymes
That's
again.
not Dr.
Yeah,
Seuss.
yeah. I'd like to say something about that as well. Say when he said when he says that, oh, we don't need to put your children to learn about programming, but actually, yeah, this is the time to learn
Mhm.
about programming, right?
Yeah.
Because programming will not be built only by AI. It will be built by people in AI, and every time we got better tools to create more software, we started creating more software.
Mhm.
And there is a interesting name that Yogo sent in our chat there. I think you can send Yogo. Because that
Yes.
idea when, oh, we have
The
a
seven.
big pile of software to work with currently, and in the future we're gonna have like an old pile of software, a big old of pile of AI software created, and everybody needs to work on this, right? AI and us and everyone,
We'll have
because
the AI
we're gonna
and
have,
humans.
and humans, exactly, because
Yeah.
we're gonna have much more software, right? Every time we had this kind of tool that improved make it easier to create software, we created more software. That's what we did, right? I still think that after AI we're gonna have even much more software than we have today.
Yeah. Yeah. Can
Absolutely.
I add to that the reason why I think really we should continue to learn to code and our children should continue to learn to code is because learning to code is like doing the math by hand. In school, they teach you to do the math by hand first before you're
Mhm.
allowed to use the calculator. That's so you understand how everything connects. You understand how numbers work, and then you get to use a calculator and forget you ever did the stuff by hand. Well, I think the same is important for computer programming. To learn to code means that we teach our children, we learn ourselves to be able to take abstract ideas out of our head that seem really simple, but they really are complicated.
Mhm.
And we can take and put them in a linear form using computational thinking and then create solutions that way. In the future, we might not have to do that as much because AIs can handle a lot of that work, but we'll understand what the AI is doing because we learned to do the math by hand before using the calculator, ChatGPT, or whatever it is going to be called when we get to that point.
Yeah, totally
Yeah,
agree.
I would like to
Completely
add
agree.
about that. Most coding learn to become a problem solver, someone
Yes.
that thinks beyond code, beyond platform. I saw something related with System One and System Two. System One is what AI is doing all this mechanical stuff, doing code, creating the service and trying to do what we do usually do, software engineers. But system two is what are we going to accomplish? What are we going to solve? AI is not gonna think about if we need to know to have an expertise in certain domain areas what we are going to accomplish to change. Are we going to do some impact in the health area, in transportation area, and understand uh, what we need to do and which role the technology plays within it. And then AI can help us with that, and that's what I see on the AI side. It will not replace us, but we just need to adapt to these changes and become a problem solver. It's key. It's key. Total key.
Uh, and just one more thing, just maybe to catch up all the things. Maybe one advice for maybe in 3 levels or mid levels or senior levels. Maybe anyone here can share, I don't know, one advice about AI for our audience. If you want to
Well,
start, Douglas, go ahead.
you know what? I feel bad about that. I actually, I feel like I just like sit here and just talk and talk and talk. Y'all, any day you want me to stop, just mute my microphone and turn my video off. I'll understand. But I do have a lot of thought on this, actually, from a multifaceted perspective. The entry level is a little bit more difficult. Again, I said you still should learn to code because you're going to use a calculator to do a lot of your code, but you need to understand how code works and how things go together so that when the AI can't figure out what it did wrong, you can. That's going to be one of the first things. The mid level, in my opinion, um, they're I don't think it's a huge danger, but keep doing things. Like keep learning AI. Learn AI, learn what it can do, learn the words around it, and try to start learning how to get AI to do novel things for you. Is really what I would say to the mid-level developer. Go read a few books while you're doing your job right now. Dig the well. Start digging the well now. You need it. The senior level engineers have a very special place in my heart because I've been doing this for 22 years. I actually picked up programming at 12 and I'm 42 now. So I've been writing code for 30 years. And to us that have been doing this for a really long time, ageism has been a real problem in the field. And I think it's going to get a lot worse. So to y'all that are in the same boat as me, this is actually almost talking to myself then at this point. My recommendation is to start understanding entrepreneurship a little bit more. Start thinking about solutions that you can bring to people to market. Learn how to use the AI to help build those Lego bricks, reusable Lego bricks that you can put together fast and get ideas out the door as quickly as you can and try to find something that hits because it's going to be a lot harder for us in our 40s as we get into our 50s to find programming jobs, period. But with AI, it could potentially be even worse because they call senior engineers people with 5 years of experience. If you look at job descriptions out there, like we're just like ancient engineers to some people, is what we are. So that's kind of that's my triple threat. The advice I have for the people. But y'all might have. I mean, I bet y'all have like a lot of stuff too.
Anyone can want to be the next? Anyone?
Yeah, no, yeah, I would just add about the age stuff. So I would say, yeah, it's true. It's something that we actually, again, it's not a new thing, right? It's not a new thing. Aging is something that happens in all industries, right? And we know what we what we mostly need to do when we get that point, right? Or we is stuck in something that we are very good at, like very specialized at it. And of course, after many years, you are much more specialized than anyone, right? And the idea of entrepreneurship is much more important at this moment because when you think about a specialization, you're thinking, oh, I'm valuable for someone, I can solve someone's problem, and very specific problem that makes me valuable to the market, yet even though they look at me and say, oh, you have white hair and you are
You
too
know,
too old for the market.
the stripes in my beard, the gray stripes were earned stripes.
Yeah, and there was this discussion in Twitter about that, and yeah, unfortunately, it's gonna happen. Like this guy said here, he got a like age prejudice on his application, and this was that, and this is something we need to handle.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, yeah.
But that was the message to us in like the senior, top, in that end of the spectrum, which is that This has been something that's always happened, but now we have the tools and the power to actually come in and do stuff on our own without having to go build a full company to go do it. We have the AI
For
tools to
sure.
help the marketing together, to help us put the copy together, to help us put the sales documentation together, to help us do all of this stuff that normally we would have needed to have like all of these people
Team.
help
A
us
whole
with.
team. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
It's a little bit of a ray of hope, like in there, in all of this too, is that there's going to be ways for all of us in all stages to really use AI to help us move forward. But we have to reach up and grab it because if we don't, we'll get left behind.
okay,
Yeah.
so maybe in resume, I think maybe all developers should learn AI to increase their productivity. So the entry levels should be able to do more things, to learn more, learn faster, create better code, learn different AI tools to do different things, and be more productive in any different areas. And this is not for the entry levels, for all of them. So probably the seniors one should be able to know much more AI tools. And in the future, maybe if they are able to do autonomous things, maybe these senior developers will be much more prepared to build his our own product or business, whatever. So in
Yeah.
resume, we should learn AI and should keep using AI and learning more AI tools to increase our productivity. I think this is from my side. I think this is
Yeah,
my
if you're an
opinion.
employee, if you work for a company, AI will help you as a tool, as a partner, a pair programming. But you're on that thing, on that move that they can drop the needed of the quantity of software engineers because the ones that use AI can produce much more and much faster. On the other hand, if you move as an entrepreneur, you create your product by yourself alone. AI can be extremely powerful resource, extremely powerful tool to move forward, to help you get things to create things. Is that the way Douglas just mentioned about that? You will have a whole team working with you without having the team. Maybe you just need to pay to ChatGPT subscription to have more content, better content on the latest models and use plugins and everything else. But it was almost impossible to do that some years ago by yourself, or not impossible, but it will take a decade working by yourself, crafting your code, learning and getting reach to marketing people and everywhere else. Much more effort. Now you have all of this power. It can play against you or it can play with you to reach your goals. You just have to adapt and put things to move forward to you and your career and your life.
Well, yeah, that's great from everyone. I just want to
Sheila, do you
I
have
see
any
that
advice?
hi here, yeah, and
Yes.
yeah, go ahead, Chila.
Yes, it's also my opinion that you have to learn those tools, how to handle all those tools, so that you can be more productive. And you, as a software engineer, know what kind of problems you want to solve, or what kind of solution you want to build, and for that you just need to know how to you need to adapt yourself, and learn those tools, and think about it, how you can even better use those tools for your purpose. So it's a process of change, process of adapting yourself to the new situation, and that's what you have to do one day after the other. So
Beautiful. I love
yeah.
it.
Exactly.
Wimerson, where Wimerson just placed it here and very interesting points. Uh, I think it's a new era. I was watching a YouTube video of a no programming people, and they said one thing that I was surprised. The child and youngers doesn't know how to make a folder structure in PC.
Oh my.
Mine does. My 12-year-old does. But yeah, I understand the
Yeah,
sentiment. I
yeah.
understand if
Mine
you're
too.
raised on a mobile device, yeah, if you're raised on a mobile device and you never use a
Maybe
PC,
yeah, it's
then you
different,
won't
right?
know.
Yeah, it's
Different
different. Yeah,
interface.
and some
Right.
years ago we had some years ago some many people had like one computer in the home and one
Mm-hmm.
PC. Now with smartphone they don't need anymore. So many houses
Maybe they
doesn't have a
replace
PC.
with
Here
some
in Brazil,
iPad.
it's sorry. I'm saying that here in Brazil, it's actually a thing. The many houses doesn't
Oh,
have a PC anymore.
actually, what Wormison was saying is a little bit more complicated, which is the fact that they won't be prepared. Uh, yeah, not prepared for the changes. But you see, I can as parents, we could teach our children about AIs. My son is already talking to ChatGPT on a regular basis.
Yeah, my daughter.
So yeah, I pay for a seat on my teen plan for him, and when my middle child gets old enough, I'll be paying for a seat for him too, so he can use those tools and talk to it and understand how to talk to an AI.
I taught my daughter to use ChatGPT and stuff, and now and then she started using it to doing her stuff like creating RPG scenes. So RPG, he started getting. Oh, I'm gonna create a new story for my RPG. I have this idea,
Oh
and
yeah,
now
that's
she's just
great.
using that and creating, and then he started creating the characters and asked the ChatGPT, oh ChatGPT, create another characters like this and that, and then he's created, and now she's like getting a RPG every week like
It
with
tells her
new
a
stories.
story.
And
The AI is telling her a story based on those characters. It's being a dungeon master, right? Like D&D
yeah,
dungeon master. That's
in her case, yes,
cool.
she's a dungeon master for his colleagues, for her colleagues, right?
Yeah.
And working like that. And I was thrilled when she came to me and showed me that she was wanted to write a love letter to someone. And then she start she showed me, oh, what I had this idea, and then I asked ChatGPT to change it a
Oh my.
little, and then when I look at it, the letter, I'm gonna say, "Oh my god, she she's using this as a friend, you know?
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
for
But I
everything." I say, "Oh, this is awesome."
But you bring a really good thing, Pedro. I think it addresses what Emerson said here. I believe that new generation, I believe that they will come with much more creative solutions than we are thinking, discussing here nowadays with our uh, mindset. I can say that. I also seen lots of my wife also when she get the chat GPT to work for her, she managed to learn in a very different way things in programming too. So yeah, we're gonna see a lot of changes in the near future, and one thing that may help you just to add something regarding to Thiago's question, for everyone, junior, mid-level, senior developers, I believe that we are too much concerned about what we lose for AI and less concerned about what is the opportunities that are opening for us. And I believe that just this story that Pedro bring here, I believe that's lots of another new things that we can do. Of course, maybe the market will shrink a bit, but there will be a whole new things that we can explore, and then we can also become entrepreneur, like Douglas said. A lot of other opportunities that will be open because, yeah, indeed, AI it's a powerful tool that can help a lot if you use to help yourself for that. So yeah, that's some maybe some positive message regarding to all this discussion maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about you have all of this power to help you create, but let's just not forget about the essence of the human being. Because I could see these girls in China, they are having AI boyfriends. So the girl is telling to herself, "No, he really exists. He understands me." No, no, he doesn't exist. Go find you a real human boyfriend. So having these tools is awesome to boost your career, your business, to boost her creativity doing all this RPG, but be in touch with humans as human beings. That's something we should not forget for us all, even for us that we are so deeply in technology. This is why we are together here. This is the
Yeah.
essence of community, searching
Mm.
for another human beings with the same interests and exchanging this knowledge. This is just something that concerns me about having AI in everything. But it's up to us to send this message. Use it as a tool. It's a great tool, but don't forget of the human side of the other developers that are with you as well, and everything else. That's it.
Very well said. Very well said. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, we already passed our time, but it was a kind of discussion that we have to be to go deeper into. But yeah, for everyone that is watching us, I hope you enjoy the discussion. If you have any suggestion or any question that you have, anything that you are concerned regarding to this topic, I believe there is not just you. Everyone here is watching all the things that is happening in the entire world. But yeah, that's also things that we can accomplish that we are not able to in the past. So don't fear so much. Embrace the changes. And yep, we're gonna be back on the next 2 weeks. And yeah, I think that's all for this for discussion today. So thanks everyone. Thanks everyone that joined our discussion
Awesome.
here. See ya. Bye bye.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys. See you.
Bye, y'all.